Let's see if anyone joins. What's up? How you doing? How are you guys today? I am, yeah, settling, just adjusting to the move and stuff. That's awesome. Pretty good. I'm pretty good, Isaiah. I'm really good. I'm pretty good. I just wanted to do a live because it's been a while, but I wanted to talk about something that people keep asking me about, and I wanted to do a live video about it because there's some people who are asking me about what I think about psychedelics. For me, I I can't say that I really condone them. They're a thing that has become extremely overly abused. They're really glorified, and a lot of people just use them for things that have no purpose. For me, that's just how I feel because a lot of the things that I tend to do, I like to have a purpose with them. When I was, high on acid and I was utilizing it, I think I've done it probably about 3 times. When I did it, I got some side effects that did not sit well with me because they say every time you take them, it alters a piece of your personality. And that's exactly what it did to me. It made me start to perceive things that were not actually there. And especially when I'm walking outside, I know my clairvoyant abilities. And this isn't something that actually is a clairvoyant ability. In my opinion, I don't feel like it's a clairvoyant ability because it it doesn't feel right. And that's the main reason why I stopped doing it because it didn't feel right. It felt like I was taking this substance and I was having these experiences and it was making me feel worse. It was making me feel not like I was having a bad trip, but it was just making me feel like, man, I'm just wasting my time with this. It really made me feel like I just wanted to stop and never do it again. And that's what I really decided to do. Are asking me if they should use it to hone in on their psychic abilities, but I really feel like it's something that shouldn't be used for that. Now, if someone's using it in a tincture and you're using like a small dosage and you're combining it with herbs, that's something that is a little different because you can actually have a sort of experience. They're usually utilized as a ritual, and you can use it to go on a journey to acquire information that you might be looking for about yourself. But other than that, I can't say that I actually condone it or that I would tell anybody that they should do it to tap into their abilities. Because the way that you really tap into your abilities is actually doing the fucking work, putting in the work. That's the way that I learned. That's the way that my teachers that taught me learned. That's the way that majority of the magicians that I know that I'm close to now, that's how they learned. They study, they put in the work. So if you think that going forward and doing acid or doing DMT or something like that is going to tap into your abilities, you're thinking wrong because it's a substance. Like that's the point of it. It's something that is used for a journey, for self discovery. But if you're just using it and abusing it, it's going to be something that is turned against you. Like now, I don't even smoke weed anymore because I can't even have a good time when I smoke weed. I can't have a good time when I smoke weed without a purpose. So I can't smoke weed and sit there. I have to smoke weed and then go do a ritual. And I would prefer not to do that when I can just smoke a cigar and go do a ritual instead and not feel like I'm extremely disoriented or inebriated. It really is something that started to take a toll on me when I was using, when I was using weed often. Started making me feel like I was being vampirized, started making me feel like I was getting attacked, started making me feel like I was super anxious and that things were going to go wrong at any given time. Even when I was smoking sativa, it started to turn out differently as well. So it was something that I decided to drop altogether because I don't like it. It became something that was more of a burden to me. Yeah, it became a burden. And I don't know, I find myself really just enjoying a nice cigar far more than I would go, you know, and prefer to smoke weed. Because when I smoke a cigar, it's relaxing, it's soothing. I know that I'm not gonna be having any trips, or I know I'm not going to be hallucinating and losing my fucking mind. I know that I can smoke a cigar and I'm calm. With every breath that I'm taking, I can also use that breath, the exhale, as an offering to my spirits. Yeah, I recently got them. Um, Probably like 2 months ago. I really needed them. I had I had my prescription because I had contacts, but I had to get glasses instead because I didn't want contacts anymore. It was too much of a hassle. It's just so much easier to just take off my glasses and put them on than stick my finger in my eye and take my contacts out constantly. Yeah. See, I did this. I actually stopped for that reason too, because even when I was drinking alcohol, when I was drinking a lot of it, I found myself just feeling lethargic. I found myself sitting down and just not enjoying it anymore. It wasn't something that I enjoyed anymore. It made me start to feel like I was just wasting away. And especially when I would wake up the next day with a hangover, it's just terrible. I hated it. I hate when I would fall asleep drinking and go to the bathroom and I have to puke, but it's not even because I drank too much, just because my body just is not reacting well to it. Waking up feeling extremely drained and exhausted with a headache, just like I got hit by a car. I don't like that feeling of whiplash or, things like that. So I've really slowed down on that too. Yeah, I bet they did, Isaiah. Sorry, I barely saw that. I bet they did. It's definitely, it can definitely be really, really intense. How you doing, David? Sorry, I just saw this. Wow. Ooh, what is that like? Like, I hear, I hear often from people who have it. What is it like to have that condition? And, how does it make you feel? Sorry, guys, give me a second. understand. Whatever. Mm, wow, that's intense. What's up, everybody? How's everyone doing? I know there's 9 of you guys that are watching. Everybody say something. Let me know that you're here. What's up? What's up, guys? How are you? Hola. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Wow. And they get aggressive. That's intense. How you doing, Kevin? Sounds like it. I remember the last time that I did acid, and I was up for almost 14 hours. Like, it messed me up so bad that when I finally got the chance to go to sleep, I woke up and I went to work. When I did work for someone, and I was working at Little Caesars, and I went to work and I started to go to the back because I was on dough that day. And when I went to do dough, I was missing the slices that I was supposed to be cutting. So I could have easily cut myself because I was seeing tracers. So I was seeing all these tracers coming off of everything. And I was still high the next day. 3 hours into that shift, I was still fucking up. I was still not having, you know, the ability to function. I kept messing up. My manager came in. Oh, nice, nice. My manager came in and she was like, "Hey, are you okay? What's going on?" I was just like, I can't function right now. I was trying to, but literally I had to go home because I was that fucked up. And I went home and I just laid down and I just felt like shit. It took like maybe like 8 more hours to be able to finally sober up. But then after that, I was like, I'm not doing this again. I gave it away to one of my friends because I did not want to do it anymore. And I really haven't done it since. hmm Snake, what kind were they? What kind of cigars? Yeah, Sinful. I had to stop that too because it just made me feel really fucked up. No, I've actually never tried DMT. I've never tried it. I think I would, just to have the experience and probably do a meditation when I do it. But after I do it, I don't think I would do it again. I think I would only try it one time and then just be done with it. I don't like the feeling that a lot of these things give me, especially, when you're having the experience and seeing those filters. Like, I don't know, I consider them filters over my eyes. I hate it. I hate that shit. Like, that's one of the main things that I did not enjoy because it won't stop. It wouldn't stop. And I'm just looking around and I see everything with all these colors and all of this shit. And I'm just like, it doesn't stop. Completely different from my actual abilities because I usually see stuff a lot different than the way that I do when I'm under the influence of those things. So it made me feel like there was no point to it. That's good. That's good. That's what's up. No, no, I never have. I've seen him in my house, at times, but that's about it. I actually haven't seen him in a while. I've had people who've been telling me about them experiencing Anubis lately and having dreams about me and stuff. But aside from that, no. I actually haven't talked to him in a while. hmm Yeah, they are. They are, Joe. It really just depends on your level of respect. If you have respect for them and you're not really afraid, then I feel like you'll definitely have a positive experience. If you go in with the belief that they're evil, that they're going to do something bad to you, that they're going to trick you, then they're going to trick you then. Then they're going to do bad things to you. Then they're going to harm you if that's what you believe that they will do. But if you go in and you're clear and you don't let someone else's opinion or someone else's experience spoil it for you, then you will have a good experience with them. And most of the time, when people are talking about this stuff, when they talk about demons, they actually don't have experience with them. They'll say, oh, the demons are bad. They'll say this and that and continue on with all this stuff that they've heard before from someone who also didn't have experience with them. So go forward into it and see for yourself. But I would say, I would recommend it if you feel like it's for you, because some people feel like angels are for them. I feel like spirit dolls are really cool. Um, my girlfriend and I wanted one, but I don't think I'm gonna get one just yet. I think it's really cool, especially if you can communicate with that spirit and you can build a bond with it. It could be a very beneficial thing. But there are some people who get them and they don't really understand that you're not supposed to play with them. You're not supposed to kind of try and tempt them or piss them off. That that's when they get negative. That's when people have bad experiences. I feel like aside from that, it's definitely a really awesome thing to give a shot, because you can have an awesome experience if you're someone who does have the ability to communicate with spirits in that way. Most of those spirits that are within the dolls aren't going to be too pissed off or mean anyway, unless you're someone who's being an asshole to them. Yeah, you can invoke or evoke them. Evocation, I wouldn't recommend evoking them because you're telling them to do something. You're going to tell them to do something. You can evoke them and talk to them, but if you are talking to them, make sure that you're doing it for a good reason. They don't like to be summoned for reasons that aren't good. Oh, cool. A female Jinn. I think that would be I think that would be pretty fascinating. If you feel like that's what you want to do, give it a shot. That could be interesting for sure. Joe, if you're invoking them, you are bringing them in for possession. You're bringing them into you. Okay. If you're evoking them, you're bringing them outside of you. You're summoning them. So you're bringing them forward to manifest them. So you can tell them to do something, or you can, get information from them. I would say Marcosius would be someone that's considered a an intermediate energy to work with, because Marcosius will be the type that reveals to you things that are going on around you that you might not quite understand yet if you are a beginner with demonic magic. Marcosius will come into your dreams sometimes, will give you visions, will, reveal to you people that might not have your best interest. And it's a little intense when you're not really expecting that person to be the one that's fucking you over. Yeah, I could. I could, simple, yeah. Who is it? No problem, Marada. Well, when you do something like a family pack, you're some people might go into it for wealth, some people might go into it for protection, they might go into it for in-depth abilities, more understanding of their abilities, things like that. What I recommend for a beginner, someone like Lilith, you know, someone like Neymar. Neymar is really awesome for beginners too. Um, I would say Lucifer's really awesome with beginners. So is Moloch. Moloch is pretty awesome with beginners too. You can also connect with someone like Barbados. He's really kind, he's really gentle. Salos is pretty awesome too. Very, very kind. Gamagen will help you as well as a beginner. There's a lot of them that are really patient and really kind, but that's just to name a few. Oh, you want me to get Anubis's attention for you? Mhm. The way you can get his attention, just look him up, look into him, watch videos about him, read about him. You can get gold and black, like cups. Find some of his favorite food. The moon card, that works. Yes, correct. Yeah. Bow, bow. I don't. I have not actually done a video on Baal yet. I was going to because I recently did a video on Balaam, but I definitely will be getting to it. I have not stopped with the Goetia. I think I've only done like 31 of them, and there's 72. So I have a quite a ways to go with the Goetia. It's just been a little hectic with the move, so my videos have slowed down a bit. Awesome. Any books I recommend beside The Lesser Key of Solomon? Hell yeah. Um, any of V.K. Jehanum's books, if you can find them out there, really good fucking books. If you get S. Conley's books, those are really awesome. You can find books by Bal Cadman. Bal Cadman is really awesome. You can even find information that's going to be coming from Disco Pon, Disco Demonic Hydrophonic. He's going to be having information that's coming out about spirits too. He has some really awesome methods for empowering you, but also giving you the ability to have a broken down way of fully connecting with spirits through the energies of projection when you utilize the vibration of unconditional love towards the spirit. Yeah, that's my boy. He's awesome. Oh, Zen, I already did. Uh no, I can't say he has, Mark. Um no, I can't say he has. Saturn oriented. You said Saturn. I thought you said Satan. Saturn. He does have a an energy that's connected to Saturn. That was an energy signature that I was kind of connecting to as well. Yeah, he does have great empowerment. I got a few from him. He's pretty cool. He's funny. Damn. I don't even know how I'd go about that. Oh, what's up? What's up, bro? How you doing? Who should you summon before you go to sleep? Is someone like Anubis. If you want to learn anything about astral projection, astral traveling, I would recommend Anubis. You could also talk to someone like Bune. Paimon is very, very well versed in helping you understand astral travel, but you also can connect with someone like Santissima if you are a devotee to her or if you feel a connection to her. She can help you with leaving your body as well. You can plant them. Yeah, usually you get them from their seed and you plant them, you can grow them, and you can utilize the leaves, you can utilize the stems. Some things, sometimes you can use different parts of the plants. Some plants are going to be male, some are going to be female, some are going to have berries, some are going to have different pieces of themselves that you can utilize that will have different kinds of purpose. The way I came across utilizing demonic magic was through my girlfriend because honestly, she's a devotee to Santa Muerte, so she was very much so heavily involved with her. We had statues in our room, we had an altar in our room, and I was kind of not so comfortable with it at first because I was someone who was very much so connected with Anubis, but I did not understand the demonic aspect of things. I didn't understand working with any kind of darker energies or anything that would be perceived or considered evil. So, upon connecting with her, I really started to become very curious about spirits that I started to encounter and see in the astral. So, that's when I got the Lesser Key of Solomon. And when I started looking into the Goetia, I started to kind of become stalked by Berith. And then it all started from there because that's when I started to connect with King Paimon. And when I connected with him, that's when everything really started to change for me because he showed me respect. He was kind, you know, he was understanding. Who is my higher self? Can't say I know. I don't know. I don't think that my higher self is anything that is actually documented though. I don't think anyone actually knows who my higher self is, or if they do, he's not someone who's documented. But I do have strong connections to Anubis. I definitely will say that. He's been in my life for as long as I can remember, since I could actually think to remember or that I remembered something. Hmm. Hmm. What's up, cousin? I just saw this right now. How you doing? What you up to? I need a haircut. I have waves, but I messed it up because I didn't put on my do rag, so I'm gonna cut it off. Sometimes I don't want to wear my do rag, so I messed it up. Without the senses open, how can a person communicate with entities? Utilizing a pendulum, you can utilize a Ouija board, you can utilize, you know, you can throw cowrie stones if you're into, Ifa or utilizing like African traditions. You can use the stones, divination. You can use bones if you're someone who's a necromancer. There are a plethora of different ways. You can also just utilize tarot cards too. Thoughts on peyote? Never done peyote. I've done shrooms before, but I would only utilize them for ritual purposes because honestly, that's something that was really messing me up. Like that's something that was really messing me up when I took shrooms. Like it tore me up. I've not done one for ritual though. No, Veronica, never used LSD for ritual. I've only used it just to try it out, just to see what my friends were talking about because they were talking about having trips and stuff. And I was young, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. I mean, I did it. I got a full blown thorough experience, but damn. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely have. Yeah. I create things like that all the time, but I offer that as a service too. Like I create servitors for people and I can put them into objects and things like that. If that's something that you were looking for, I do that. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What was that like? Sinful. Oh wow, that is a good question. That's a good question. Gin, it depends. It really depends. The jinn usually, you know, they show themselves to me as like on fire. They're usually flaming kind of energies. They can shapeshift though. Sometimes they can be really low to the ground. They can come from the shadows, but for the most part, they show themselves as on fire, flaming for me. I've only seen them a few times. And one of the main ones that I ended up seeing recently when I was talking to him was Balaam. Because Balaam was definitely showing his true form to me. He showed up as a huge, like, dragon that was on fire. And he had these huge horns and he was towering over me. Just towering. Like he was ginormous. That's pretty cool. Which goetic entity is good to help with opening all the senses? You could connect to someone like Avnas. Avnas is really awesome for things like that. Cain can help you with stuff like that too. Paimon, Lucifer. You can connect with Lucifuge. Asmodee can help you with that too. Bifrons can also help you with that. And this is what a lot of people kind of don't realize is that spirits like Bifrons, or or otherwise known as Beaufry, just because they work with necromancy, that doesn't mean that necromancy is something that wouldn't benefit you. So you can utilize necromancy to actually connect with energies to help you understand your abilities more, to help you heal your body, to connect with energies of the deceased that give you the ability to open yourself up more to energies that are a little harder to sense. So, for those of you who were curious about necromancy, I would definitely recommend working with some of the spirits that specialize in it because they can teach you a lot. Like Lucifuge, he's one of the main ones that can help you with that stuff too. Asmodee is also one that can help you with understanding those things as well. So can Belial too, though. Belial can also help. That's another one that I wanted to mention. I have, Marcus. I hope I was able to answer that question. I have, yeah. I do it. I do it all the time because it helps me to have those within my house or especially in my ritual space, it can change the results of rituals that I do, especially when I'm including those kind of those spirits that I've made vessels for. Yeah, they help you connect more, especially when you have certain herbs that the spirits like, or if you have, essential oils that the spirits like as well. Not only that, but the colors and the component, because I use beeswax, so beeswax burns more thoroughly, but it also gets a really nice scent when you are, when you're lighting it and it's melting, the hot throw is really awesome because when you burn it, the scent really will come forward and you can use that as a gift, as an offering to the spirits. That's the reason why I started making the Goetic Whispers candles in the first place because they were something that I wanted to do for myself so I don't have to go buy anything from anyone else. When I could charge them, I could prepare them myself, and that's why I learned about it. Tinnitus? Hmm. Tinnitus. I mean tinnitus. I don't exactly know. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you I don't know because I can't say I do know. I don't know. There's quite a few of them, but as for that, I don't know. Possibly someone like Barbados, because he can help you with all of your clear abilities as well. So you could probably connect with him. Bune also might be someone that can help with that as well. Awesome, Marcus. You should do it. But if you wanted a custom one or anything like that, you could definitely let me know. I'd love to make it. I can make it for you. I offer that as a service. Um, no, I can't say that I have because even though they didn't, they would all talk about a lot of the things, that they've experienced with energies and things of that sort, but I don't think any of my family members has ever told me that they had an experience with Anubis, which is interesting. That's a good question. Never really got to think about that. I see much info on there, but soul tattoo. Do I know what a soul tattoo is when it comes from another human? Um, Soul tattoo. I mean, if you have a specific intent in that tattoo, I don't know everything, so I'm just going off of what I personally feel about it and what it sounds like. It could be a sigil to yourself, a sigil to your higher self that you get tattooed, something that connects to your energy on a soul level that represents you. Um, some people have past lives where they actually had tattoos. Some people have incarnate energies of extraterrestrials that have specific kind of tattoos that in their waking life, because they saw it on their higher self or something, they got the tattoo done. That's really the only thing that I can think of. How do you contact it, Patch? The way that you contact it is not trying to go forward with contacting or communicating with it. What you should do is take care of your body, take care of your energy body. Because when you take care of it, like when you're doing stretches, you do things like yoga, you do things where you can really clear yourself and allow your blood to flow and oxidize, you will give yourself the ability to let that shit go on its own. You'll be able to let it go from your energy on your own. Some of those things are parasites that you have to get rid of yourself. I know I had them. I know there's been other people who I've known that have had them, that they are parasites that come from your ancestors that you have to personally get rid of yourself. As far as reincarnation and levels, I can't say I know because I don't really necessarily believe in the whole concept of reincarnation. So I can't really give you an answer on that. So, face, um, when it comes down to doing those techniques, honestly, it's something that is either going to be a hit or miss. There are some people that are going to be able to utilize that. There are others that will not be able to utilize it. Everybody's going to have different kinds of experiences with these techniques. So maybe you be someone who's more apt to connect with a frequency through binaural beat. You might be someone who can drink an herbal tincture that you make, you know, and that will open up your energies and your abilities. You might be someone who, you know, can kind of like read a book and start to understand or get into your abilities. You might be someone who needs to physically touch an item that has energy connected to it to hone in on your abilities. Everyone has energies that are going to be opened differently. How do I feel when King Paimon is around? How do I feel when he's around? He makes me feel unstoppable. He makes me feel like I am he makes me feel like I'm king of the world. He definitely makes you feel like you're a king. He validates you, you know, but he won't stroke your ego. He'll pull you down if you feel like you're on a high horse really fast. You know, he will not hesitate to call you out on bullshit. That's why I really respect and like Paimon, because he doesn't fuck around when it comes down to it, especially if you're asking him for his help. He's relatively quick, you know, when he works, but when he's around me, he just makes me feel like I'm really validated. He makes me feel like a lot of the things that I'm stressing about don't fucking matter. He makes me feel calm. Patch, do yoga. Do some yoga. I think that'll be a good idea for you. Do yoga, stretch, take care of your body. Start to do techniques that you can utilize just breathing. That will give you the ability to open up far more. These things can't stay attached to you if you're using these kinds of means to open yourself up. They won't close you off because you're actually using your body to open up, to give yourself that flow. The more that you work on your physique, the more that you work on your energetic double, you will have more of an ability to utilize things like your kundalini, like you just said. Do yoga. Yoga is the main way that you're going to be able to access your kundalini, quite honestly, especially if you're doing things like um, the bow. Okay, if you're doing things like bow and the boat, and you know, if you're doing vinyasas or if you're doing sun salutations, you know, if you're, yes, exactly. If you're doing those as well, exactly. Cobras, death postures, those are awesome too. Yes. Those will definitely help you a lot. Exactly. I'm so I can't say that I'm actually clairaudient because I speak with them telepathically. I have not spoken with an entity clairaudiently in a long time. And when I was starting to learn about it, I was utilizing means that were a little more unorthodox because I was listening to the heartbeat of someone that I was on the phone with. So I had to calm myself down enough and use breathing techniques to be able to listen to not only my heart, but to pick up their heartbeat from the other end of the phone when I was on it. And it did take practice, but the more that I utilized it, the better I got at actually hearing those things. So when I could hear the heartbeat, I knew that everything was shut off from around me, and I was just isolating my senses to hear things that were not as easy to pick up on. That's when I started to be able to hear spirits and whispers and hear their voices and things like that. But it took hard it took hard work for that. It's something that can really it's something that can really take a lot of time, but it's worth it. I would definitely recommend Barbados for that, for sure. Wow, that's crazy. Um, so the veil is thin. When someone's saying that the veil is thin, they're talking about maybe the time of year currently. The veil is very thin right now, especially moving into Samhain. Um, Samhain is usually the time of, around Halloween, where everyone is doing rituals that doesn't actually celebrate it as a holiday. They use the day to actually raise the dead. A lot of necromancers love this day because they can raise the dead easier when they go to the graveyard. There's a lot of energies that are brought forth from the infernal realms because there are so many people celebrating death. The veil is just a concept that represents the the filter of this reality. The veil is what blocks you and blocks a lot of your abilities. It's a perceived veil. It's more of a um, metaphorical sense. But Zen, try to connect with someone like Barbados. I think you'd have a lot of luck with connecting to him and reading his astral grimoires for sure. Hmm. Yeah, I do believe that someone could be blocked from receiving things like that. And the funny thing about that is some people are actually blocked because they might have a disconnection with some of their family members. For example, if you have a disconnection with your mother or your father and you really are holding like grudge, and there's no real reason to actually hold on to that, those can bring forward damages and blockages to your financial stability. That can block those things. You having anger problems can block those things. You not, you know, um, cleansing yourself can also block those things. Someone throwing a curse at you, that can block those things as well. But I don't necessarily feel like there's a curse. It really just feels like you have some things that you have to kind of work through before you can open that avenue up. It also can have to do with specific areas in your body, like your chakras that are blocked as well. That can affect your prosperity too. Let me go back. I think was it you, Patch, that asked about Azazel? Yes. You can connect with Azazel for pure knowledge, yeah. He's awesome. He'll definitely give you what you're looking for. He'll give you what you're looking for sure. He can tell you a lot about a plethora of different things that you might want to, acquire information about. And especially if you're coming to him for reasons that are other than riches, he's going to respect you far more. If you go to him and you connect with him and you're just like, I want to connect with you for this reason, and you're not utilizing the riches, you're going to have far more respect because then when you build up that um, when you build up that bond with him, he's going to be more apt to do more for you. So then you could ask him for money. Just like Bune, if you're someone who wants to work with Bune, I would recommend building the bond with them, or any spirit for that matter, especially spirits of the Goetia. Connect with them for the reasons that aren't well known, and then they will really show you respect and loyalty because you're not using them. A lot of people use them, especially the ones that are really connected to the JCI. They use them and they'll bind them and constrain them and try to compel them instead of actually building a bond with them and allowing them to have their very own free will. Because when you do that, they're not going to trick you. They're actually going to give you the benefit of the doubt and hear what you're saying. They might do something that is amazing for you if you were to ask for it, especially if you have their respect. Yeah, they can speak any language. Majority of the spirits in the Goetia actually are bound spirits that have appearances that have been changed throughout the years to fit the description of so many of the people who follow the systems of the Judeo-Christian system. Wow. Wow. You might need to just do a bigger one. You might need to just do a bigger one. That might not be what help. That might not be what helps you. That might not be what works for you. There might be something else that works for you, you know? Man, face, you can designate a servitor for anything. You can designate a servitor to drain someone when they park in front of your house, to drain someone when they talk to you a certain way. You can program them to, attack someone that is disrespectful towards you or your family members. There are a lot of purposes. Hold on, I'm gonna turn this light on because it's everything's going off. But yeah, there's quite a few different things that you can utilize servitors for. You can program them to be literally for anything, especially defensive, so long as you designate them to feed on a source that is not you, or a source that is not near you. Okay. Any knowledge on Nordic spirits like Loki, I would recommend going to someone like VK Jehanum. Jehanum works very close with the Norse pantheon. He's the only one that I know that's worked extensively with them, in the ways that really are not so traditional. He has awesome gnosis on them, especially the giants and things of that sort. I've never actually worked with Loki. I can say that Anubis is close to Loki, though. Anubis connects with Loki, um, and they and they appear together sometimes. And I've even heard this from friends of mine too that are close to Anubis. All right. Okay. But guys, no problem. I'm gonna go, guys, because I'm pretty hungry. If you guys want to reach out, you can always email me. I'm always here. Unless you've answered this already, late, but my thoughts on okay, I'll answer this last one. DMT is something that I have not tried yet. So I don't really have an opinion about it as of yet. Um, but from what I've heard, it is something that is amazing for some people. They have extreme breakthroughs, especially when they use it during ritual. I have not used it, so I don't know what to say about it, you know? I don't have real experience with it. I found out about him really because he hijacked a meditation that I was in when I really found out who he was. He hijacked one of my meditations and he activated my Merkaba. And that's when I really found out about who he really was. No problem, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one, especially when I'm making my appearance on another live. I'll try to do it more often because I know you guys love this. Maybe in another week or so.